Okay, welcome to Storm in the West 44 mod, the next cast. Here we're featuring a one-on-one matchup between MrCrisps and Helix. Crisps playing the DVSAS brigade, and the Helix is playing 91st Luftwaffe. Both infantry-centric divisions for the most part, but with a armored twist near the end. Um, you'll see that the DVSAS, not much income, but they get fairly sizable bonuses at every phase, especially 1,750 points in Phase C for their counterattack. Uh, and they also start with additional points at the very beginning of the game. Luftwaffe has no such bonuses, but has a sizable income in Phase B for 15 minutes of the game. So let's go to get started. We're going to have probably some Jedburgh teams going into the city, and probably against some Fallschirmjägers and Ausbildungstrupps, which are tank school students armed with French light machine guns and rifles. They have a slightly different trait than the poorly trained reservists. Um, the trait of the Ausbildungstruppen is just less suppression resistance and less rate of fire, but retains their accuracy on the weapons, whereas poorly trained loses accuracy, rate of fire, uh, but not suppression. So we see here come the troops about to meet in the city. So peeling off here, a lot of AT guns picked up here. Fairly worried about armored play that doesn't come here. The Phase A options for 91st Luftwaffe are quite limited, mostly R-35s. And you can see the elite Fallschirmjägers here. They have a tag associated with them that gives them a +1 dodge bonus, plus 50% speed, +1 accuracy, plus 12% rate of fire. And of course 3 stars gives them incredible suppression resistance. Just good troops by any sense of the word, especially in this division. He's got a heavy mortar here, going to try to shell this position. Looks like he might be going after this anti-aircraft gun. Good choice. Those anti-aircraft guns are very brutal against infantry. Light skirmishing on either side. Pack 40 opening up with its HE, or maybe not, maybe. Seems like the heavy mortar is being fired randomly here. We see a B1 BIS and a H-35 coming up on this right side here. Probably to, if they're not responded to, this could easily break up this position. And you see the Ausbildungstruppe, the tank school students here. Not a lot of aggressive play right now. Here come more troops for the middle. This is probably a Fallschirmjäger unit for this side. Machine gun suppresses that Pack 38, but there's nothing really for the Pack 38 to shoot at anyway. We see the Fallschirmjäger blow up both of these FFI motorcycle with sidecars fairly easily with their accuracy bonus. Heavy mortar gonna be used on that Pack 38, but to not much avail. And then the AA gun just brutalizes these Fallschirmjägers. Yeah, AA guns at close range are extremely dangerous. The Ausbildungstruppe. There are Ersatztruppen still in this game and still in this deck, but they don't come in in Phase A, and they are a bit different. You'll see them later on. 52%. The Allies are ticking a little bit, but Very passive on both sides so far, just a little bit of ticky-tack attacks here. If Crisps had many troops here, he could probably take it out, but those Maquisards are a fairly weak unit. They also have a trait that that gives them less rate of fire, more dispersion, and less accuracy. They really aren't all that good, but they do have a star, which means they're eager enough. It's just their weapons don't do a whole lot. And we see an H-35 here. The Jedburgh teams are re-rolled into sort of a Stoßtruppen type team instead of a command team like before. They have 6 submachine guns, TNT, smoke grenades, and gammon bombs. But they are outranged by these Ausbildung troop with their Mack French light machine guns and the Fallschirmjägers with their light machine guns. In fact, this Jedburgh group gets pushed back by all the small arms fire. And then killed by a heavy mortar shot. Fallschirmjägers doing work on these saboteurs. Unfortunately, they're just out of throw range of those bombs, so they can't get them in against the Fallschirmjägers, and these Maquisards are no match for Fallschirmjäger troops. And here comes the Ju-87G trying to take out the loses sight of the B-1 Bis, a lucky break. Not microing him around, so B-1 Bis should be safe for now. Alright, here comes the 87 again, in for a run, probably on this H-35 now. Oh, nope. On the B-1 Bis again, and stuns the B-1 Bis, switches targets, and mows down that H-35. Excellent shooting by that Stuka pilot. Is he going to come back around to try to finish off the... Yep, here it goes. And that's it. Just in time, too. And not enough AA there to ward him off, unfortunately, so the tanks ended up being a liability. And Crisps is going to probably need his Phase B money to surge back in this game. Much like in closer combat, you need 52% to start ticking in Storm in the West. So it's not catastrophic for Crisps right now if his counterattack is good. And you can see the effects of these negative traits. They're just unable to do much to these German troops. Yeah, it gets pinned down and he has to leave. Maquisard's no match for real troops. Okay, we see the city is slowly turning to the German side here. That initially strong position has been turned and punched away at with the combination of artillery and elite infantry and crossfire from light machine guns. The DBSAS infantry is lacking in long-range firepower, especially before Phase B. Well, he does have these rallies, but they're out in the countryside here. Rallies, yeah, rallies. Germans and Osttruppen defecting to the French forces, French resistance. These Jedburgh teams are still a significant threat, so Helix is taking his time. He's not in a great hurry to eat their bombs. And another Fallschirmjäger team is being sent in to help deal with them. We see a push on this side as well to try to secure this side of this approach to the city. Jedburgh team using smoke to try to push in and get a bomb off on these guys. We'll see if that works out for him. Ah, he's running away. He'll probably get a bomb off on these off-clara though. And they do finish off the leader team. Pretty good raid actually. Oh, a bomb against the Ausbildungstroop, okay. Assaulting this Zoffler, and the Jedburgh dies in the assault. Unfortunate for them. Phase B is coming pretty soon for the DBSAS, which is going to bring with it SAS troops and some new armor, along with a little bit of points. That's a decent bonus for them. And we see the mortar at work again, trying to knock out these AT guns. This is Pack 40. When Phase B comes, the 91st will be able to bring in Tigers. And so that's going to be a real challenge for the DBSAS player. Slowly the push is coming his way now, and I think Crisps has just run out of effective units right now. But Phase B is coming. And in fact, Phase B has come for Crisps, so he should be purchasing some units now to shore up his line. He also gains access to the standard Allied air power at this point if he chooses to go in that direction. With no Axis AA, it could be very lucrative here. And here come probably some either Maquisards or SAS troops, Panzer III, which can easily dispatch these R-35s. More SAS. Okay, here comes the cavalry. We'll see if this changes the dynamic here. Rallies in a half track. What's really going to change the dynamic is Phase C, because he's going to get 1,700 points and he's going to get some American tanks and American armored infantry to work with. A pretty tough counterattack, especially if it's close like this. You know, that can really turn the game on its head. No planes right now, so we're just seeing more infantry come back to fill in these positions. And Helix is just taking the territory that he can get right now. Just taking out a little bit at a time. This CDP is in a vulnerable spot. If Helix wants to, he can take these guys out fairly easily. We see a couple more R-35s. No Tiger yet, but he probably can't afford it right now. He's just bringing in more guys to shore up his position. The mortar is going to might knock out that Pack 38. Panzer Shrek team, you'll see their newfangled FG-42s. Here comes some AA guns. We'll see how those work out. I wonder what kind of AA gun he's bringing in. Looks like a Vierling. Those things will mulch infantry. French player bringing in his own AA. And here come a gaggle of troops. And here comes the first Tiger. All the German command tanks have elite crews, so this is an elite Tiger at 2 stars, which gives it good morale. Here comes Stern Pioneers probably. We'll deal with armor, but there's not a whole lot of DVSAS armor right now for that Tiger to cope with, so maybe not the best buy. And then here's the SAS troops, the Chasseurs now have a Bren gun instead of smoke, and those carbines are very deadly. With the support of their French resistance troops, they're fighting this Fallschirmjäger, but not accomplishing terribly much right now. Okay, there they go. They get them pinned down. The Fallschirmjäger troops are tough, and these R35s are having an easy time. If he needs to deploy his AA gun, there you go. But the AA gun really can't do much to this R35 anyway. Oh, it can actually. It can pen. Yep, the accuracy. Yep, okay, yeah, it can actually pen that. So, and then here come more SAS troops supporting French troops. This position has been turned on its head now. This is interesting. Both sides very big advantages by Crisps. The Panhard bugs out here. A pity that Panhard could be useful somewhere. Here come the Group FMs, which are just Bren groups with carbines. And yeah, like both sides are firmly in the favor of Crisps right now, but this middle position extremely strongly defended by Fallschirmjägers and then here come the Panzerwerfer, and yeah, that's it breaks up that attack at least for now. Destroys the okay, yeah, that attack got broken up. Yeah, it's the Panzerwerfer with the Schwer Panzer Battalion that's attached to this division. That's where the Tigers come from. The tank school is where the R35s come from, and the Ausbildungs troop. And we're gonna see probably some normal pioneer type guys. Even with the Panzerwerfer, the attack is still going. Those SAS troops don't give up. And the Panzer III providing effective fire support. Yeah, the attack here from the Stern Pioneer doesn't really get very far. A lot of the little R35, H35 tanks getting used in this battle. It's interesting seeing so much 1940 kit along with those wonderful Mac 29s. But this vehicle could potentially do a lot of work, but he needs to get this reloaded. Okay, see some more SAS troops. And the SAS AT squad is now a bazooka team instead of a Piat team. And the bazooka in this mod is significantly better than the Piat. So, well, I don't know if we're going to see that. Probably are, actually. Yep. Bringing in an SAS mortars to try to change this battle and get this Tiger to not see. He would really like a Pack 40, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I didn't notice it, but the Stuka G is coming back and supporting these Grenadiers and another Fallschirmjäger group, and I think this attack is stalled out. Stuka roaming around for some new targets, not a lot of armor to deal with. Here's the Pack 40, probably going to come in and maybe be able to ambush this Tiger up close. I think the Tiger knocked out. Nope, it caused the the Panzer III to surrender. And I think it's just roaming around. Yeah, so now he's going to reload the Panzerwerfer. A lot of mortar fire on both sides here. Needs to unload this Jeep or it's just going to get killed. Okay, there you go. SAS bazooka does the trick against this French tank, but this Ausbildungs's troop is protecting the Tiger, so you won't be able to do the same thing twice. A lot of fire superiority here now. He's going to need to do something to change that here if he wants to make progress. So far, this game has been pretty close. Here, Yearling gets knocked out. Very thinly defended midsection, but so far it's holding out pretty well. The Tiger is not accomplishing much. In this matchup, he probably doesn't need to buy Tigers. Well, he might need to for later on. So, very close game as of now, 202 to 164. But Phase C is coming soon, and when it does, there will be a lot of Allied armor coming. And here's the second Tiger with the elite crew tag, probably coming in on this side just to finish it off. And then here comes a swarm of French resistance fighters here. Unfortunately, there's just too many Fallschirmjägers here. They're not really going to be able to take the attack home without good fire support, and there is none to be found here. Especially without a leader present. Ah, there's the Pack 40 doing in the Tiger here. Misses with its shot with the HE, and then Tiger can't move anymore. Pack 40 not killing it yet. The Tiger's low rate of fire hurting it now. Even with that debuff, yep, there it is, bailed out, killed by the Pack 40. Guys, Tiger's not the best choice here, probably. And sorry, that Panhard probably got the bug where units get disappeared. Here comes some more units for Crisps, but he isn't unloading them yet. Okay, yeah. So some saboteurs and maquisards to try to take this out, but they can't do anything to this R-35. Probably should take this back and repair it, but it may not be worth the supplies and points. This bottom side is a problem now. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the troops to hold it right now. However, the counterattack is coming soon, and if he pushes hard here, there's not a lot of good firing lanes for the Tiger. You know, a group of 4 or 5 Shermans and maybe a M10 could really unhinge this whole side, especially against the low income of the Luftwaffe player in Phase C. But we'll see what happens here when Phase C drops. And unfortunately, at a very long range, this Pack 40 just doesn't stand much of a chance against the Tiger. Has to get really lucky. And then here comes some American Shermans, 3 of them. More tanks, more units. more Shermans, including a 105 and a 105 here as well. MrCrisps is very fond of his Sherman 105s. You'll notice that unlike the 105s of yore, of course, they have a shorter range but a very high HE value and a heat round that, while inaccurate, can be effective at close range. And then more, let's see, armored rifles and probably rallies to fight on this side. Armored rifles are more formidable than in vanilla, and a very dangerous opponent now, but yet to see. These 3 Shermans should be able to, and here comes a plane to wipe out some of these infantry. Oh, they dropped a little bit too far ahead to actually kill them. And here come more bombs. Yeah, that's a little more effective, but doesn't get as many kills as he might like. And the Shermans are coming in. Needs to get them in closer so they can use their machine guns and just blaze away at everything. These R-35s are no threat to Shermans. And he needs to get out of this country before the Tiger comes. This is a bad place to engage a Tiger, but this is not too bad. You need to be on the... You need to avoid long line of sight situations. This is where the Shermans want to be. And this side much better for the for Crisps and his DVSAS now, but Helix is taking at +2 now. He's got about 20 minutes to turn this thing around. Unfortunately, these Shermans are going in without a whole lot of support, but they are supporting this side, so kind of interlocking attacks. Gonna help. And then here come the armored rifles, and yeah, these Shermans just viciously murdered the Grenadiers. This Tiger, though. Crisps needs to keep his Shermans out of the sight of that Tiger. Needs to stay on the other side of the hedgerows, preferably. Wait till he gets the favorable engagement. Alright, the R-35 gets knocked out. Should have no problem getting rid of these positions here. Ju-87G driven back, tries to knock out the 105 but fails. Some armored rifles and some other infantry coming up. Counterattack taking a while to develop here, but it could be dangerous. And here's a long shot with the Panzerwerfer, not very effective. And trying to use his HS-129 on the Shermans, but not very effective either. The Tigers can see down the road, needs to unload his infantry before they get killed. But this massive attack on the bottom here is not going to be stopped. Another Tiger coming in. As long as Crisps can use the terrain to his advantage, the Tigers are not a huge threat right now. But if he gets into these open fields, there can be problems. And another shot with the Panzerwerfer. Yeah, that's going to break this attack up. At least for now. Crisps is regaining ground now. He should be getting the tick up to neutral, but he's going to have to tick it in his direction to win now. Half-tracks and Shermans working together to deal with this these Fallschirmjägers. And the Tiger comes in here, kind of to try to shut off that side from the Shermans. This is where an M10 might be handy here, to use HVAP ammo on these Tigers at close range. And kind of, you know, charge alongside Shermans to force in side shots and such. But I think Crisps has used up almost all of his big money, and he's going to rely on that 50 bucks a tick. But the Sherman 105 is wreaking havoc. Until the Tiger came in and just shot it up. Unfortunately here, Helix has not been forced to buy much else, and the pressure is just not strong enough to keep him out of buying a bunch of Tigers. The Sherman doesn't stand a whole lot of a chance against that Tiger up even at this range. Needs a flank shot. And yeah, and the problem is as the range closes, the Tiger gets more accurate, and the Tiger's already pretty accurate, so yeah. And one Sherman against the Tiger, even at this range, won't do the job. Needs a M10. Doesn't have one. And the HS-129 trying to knock out that Sherman. Nice 1-2 punch. Probably should consider bringing in his fighter bomber to try to shoot it down if he can. Trying to knock out that Sherman. It bails it out effectively. And here's the new ersatz trooping. They have weapons now, but they actually cost money. No longer disheartened, but they have a other bad tag, which is reserve troops, which makes their weapons a lot worse. And here's the fighter bomber to shoot down the HS-129, but it might be too late. It's already done its damage. And Chris is buying AA. Probably not going to accomplish a whole lot. Bomber hits these ersatz trooping, but I think this side has run its course. He needs to make progress in the middle now, but he's not much left to work with, and the Tiger is in a fairly commanding position here. Also, a 6-pounder might be a good choice. 57 at this range could knock out the Tiger with its APDS. Or yeah. Or he could try airstrikes on it, but at 50 points a tick, it's going to take a while to get something like that. And the clock is now working against him, so he has one M4 Sherman left to toy around with. Actually has two, along with the Sherman 105 against multiple Tigers now. Might try with the gammon bomb to knock this one out. These Vaki Sards just not very good, especially with the fire support provided by the Tiger, helping them out, helping the Germans out. Sherman 105 just doing what it does. It could knock out the Tiger if it got a close-in shot because of its accuracy, but now the 87 stuns it, sends it falling back. But the AA will not let it hang around. Crisp is ticking now, but, well, was ticking briefly. But this game is firmly in Helix's hands. Helix has a significant unit advantage now. The, I think when it basically got into Phase B and Helix wasn't particularly threatened, he was able to accumulate points and get the planes, the HS-129 and the Tigers, to deal with that tank counterattack. Not all of the German infantry divisions have Tigers, so just keep that in mind. Oh wow. Yeah, the Sherman 105 actually manages to severely damage the Tiger. Oh, kills it with heat. Nicely done. That's one Tiger down. Actually, that seems to be two Tigers down. This Tiger's dead as well. Don't know what killed it. There's only one Tiger left on the field. Crisps has a significant unit advantage now. There's not a whole lot left to oppose him if he can push with this armor. He just needs to watch that Pack 40. Both sides under significant pressure. This is a very back and forth kind of game. I think Helix is going to win it, but Crisps is giving him a run for his money. Another attack led by armored rifles supported by AA. Could get it in there if he, maybe if he could afford a tank. I don't know if these H-35s are going to do the trick though. Helix probably out of Tigers, now has to buy AT guns. Sherman tries to get a shot in on the Tiger and takes a bad crit. The Panzerwerfer is going to shoot pretty soon. Probably at this concentration here. Or wait, no, is he gonna shoot it? Is he gonna shoot at this? Yeah, he's gonna shoot at the Sherman 105. Okay, that does stun it. Like a Sherman 75 here would be humongously powerful. Just a 1. Or even a 105. That would be really powerful. It needs to go in with the half track to get these surrenders too, but so this attack is going pretty well. Another bombing run on the Tiger. The Tiger does not have a lot of damage on it from HE, so it's, if you're gonna fight tanks with planes, use rocket planes. Those are better against tanks than bombers. Bombers are more for killing infantry, other soft targets. Crisp making his way back into the city now. He finally is moving in with his half tracks and getting a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, needs a supply truck and get this Sherman repaired and fixed. Potentially moving into the middle too. There's only, I don't know if he knows that, but there's not much left. He could make a sizable push if he knew what was in front of him. A lot of AA guns though, and AA guns are very versatile in this mod, so who knows. Comes another spritz with the Panzerwerfer on Probably where those armored rifles were. Yeah, here's the truck. He's gonna bring the Sherman back to the truck and repair it. The Sherman has AP, but Tiger will probably still win against him alone. Still, he could use the Sherman there and probably knock out those flak guns. Or force the Tiger to commit. He has bazookas waiting. Gammon bongs and bazookas waiting here. Could be deadly. 5 minutes to go, and Crisp hasn't gotten it back to +1 on his side yet, so he'll probably need the +2 to win now. Okay, yeah, that's Sherman getting rearmed. Another Tiger up the middle. He's not out of Tigers, just not a lot of money to buy him with. I think this H-35 might be able to knock out the Veerling if it can point its front armor at it. The little shorty 37 actually doing some work. Yeah, like HE on tank cannons in this mod is all about accuracy. Like, they're powerful, but they don't have a huge AoE. Which is why the tanks can one-shot AT guns. The Tiger in the middle should clean up everything, though. Unless he gets too close to some bazookas. I think Helix might be out of infantry at this point, though. That might be the source of this weakness. Unfortunately, time still working against Crisps, and he's not ticking right now. Slowly works and knocks out that Black Veerling with the Hotchkiss. Yeah, he's using Spay Troop at this point. Oh, so might Crisp be using reconnaissance troops as his to do his fighting in the city. Comes an attack led by recon troops. Drops a bomb. Bags the Opfair and scratches the paint on the Tiger. Tiger gonna go in alone anyway. At point blank, the Sherman can kill it. But this is not point blank. Oh, okay, he's killing that 35R. But still, he reveals himself to the Tiger. Not great. Tiger misses, though. Probably because of that stunning. If the Sherman were to come up there, it would be set up a nice flank shot. But no dice on that. And yeah, now Crisps is just moving things forward up top here just to try to get somewhere. It's a real fight to the finish here, but I think Helix has this one. He's sending in his bazooka teams. He probably should have bought those a little sooner, and maybe they might be more effective. The SAS buffs going well with the bazooka. And here's another bombing run. Scratches the paint again. Sherman dealing with the flak Vierling should have no problem with it, but alright, these guys have gammon bombs. They might be able to hurt the Tiger. And they do, actually. They kill the Tiger. A little bit too late, though, I would say. A little too late killing the Tiger here. Unfortunately. I think a little bit more aggressive play on Crisps' part might have gotten this to a draw, at least. Right now we have the SAS recon troops duking it out at long range with these ersatz trooping. And yep. Well, I'd say thank you for watching. It was a good game by Helix. Really went to the wire. We can see, yeah, Crisps killed all the tigers, almost all the tigers. It just took him too long. Um, Took a lot of losses from that heavy mortar. Panzerwerfers. Anyway, I would say the DBSAS was somewhat of an experimental division, and we're also, obviously this mod is working on the balance, but I think this game was pretty good. I do still worry over the DBSAS's matchup against armored divisions, but as I said, this mod just needs more games. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll watch the other videos. Thank you.